You're watching Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey. Preview injury news coming up here in a moment. But first, it is the month of November, so the NFL has announced the October Players of the Month, and the Defensive Player of the Month is Za'Darius Smith. Congrats to him for winning the award. Also, thank you, Green Bay. Like the video to show Smith some love for his big-time award, NFC Defensive Player of the Month. Once again, I am Tom Downey. Today's show is a preview and some notable injury news and updates for you as the Minnesota Vikings get ready to take on the Washington Commanders this week. First, we'll run through what's going on with the Commanders side of things in terms of their injuries. Lots of DNPs this week on the Wednesday practice report. Jahan Dotson still battling a hamstring. He probably should have gone on IR for them. Cole Holcomb, a foot. He's a big key linebacker for them. He did not participate. David Mayo has a hamstring as well. That's another backup linebacker. Running back J.D. McKissick with the neck injury, but they've been using Brian Robinson, Gibson. They could be okay there. Logan Thomas limited by a calf. In general, when you are limited or better on Wednesday, normally means you end up playing. Cole Turner, concussion limited. That's a protocol, so we'll see. Jonathan Allen and Tyler Larson were both full participants Wednesday, so they are battling something, but they should be fine in terms of their current injury status. Let's go now to the Minnesota Vikings, and unlike maybe last week, some more notes here. First, the positive, Adam Thielen's fine, full participant Wednesday with the knee, nothing to worry about there. Cam Dantzler and Za'Darius Smith were both limited. Dantzler pops up on that injury report with a neck issue. Again, in most cases, limited on Wednesday, unless you suffered the injury at practice, means you'll be good to go come game day. Jalen Nailor battling an illness, so we'll see if he just starts to feel better. Flu this year seems to be affecting a bit more players than maybe in years past, and teams being a bit cautious there. But he did not participate Wednesday. I think he'll be okay. Dalvin Tomlinson, though, probably not going to go with a calf. We'll see if he can get better on that front, but he did not participate on Wednesday. Early returns this week, not looking great for Tomlinson. I want you guys right now, before we get into some keys to the game, etc., to predict the score of this week's game. Vikings versus Commanders. Producer Patrick called it a trap game. I called it the Kirk Cousins revenge game, so two different angles there. Get your predictions of the score in for me at the pinned comments on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know what you think the score of Sunday's game will be. Let's hit some keys to victory, keys to the game. Number one, kind of duh, right? Protect Kirk Cousins. The Commanders are probably not going to have Chase Young this week. Now, he is getting healthier. His window to practice has been activated. I think Washington might take up all 21 days of that window. But the interior presence for the Commanders has been very impressive. Look at your sack leaders. Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle. Deron Payne, defensive tackle. Jamin Davis, a blitzing off-ball linebacker, not the edge of Montez Sweat, etc. The interior is where you have to hold up. The good news is for Minnesota is your left tackle, Christian Darrisaw, has been, I'd argue, special this year. He has had the massive breakout season everyone was hoping for. That trade down looks awesome for them. He's being graded as the third highest tackle in football by PFF, 85.8 overall. Darrisaw is becoming, as far as I'm concerned, a franchise left tackle, 85.8 overall, 85 pass block, 77.4 run block grade. I will make note, I've never understood how you would think the overall is pass blocking and run blocking combined, and yet the overall is higher. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what the grades say for PFF. That's why we use them as a data point, and not the only element to grading out a player, reviewing how well they've played. It's not the deciding factor, but I think the grades also back up what we've seen watching Darrisaw play. Do you think Christian Darrisaw, though, will make the All-Pro team? Always a tough ask because there is hype involved there. I'm old enough to remember this is more Pro Bowl. Remember the year Xavier Rhodes was a Pro Bowler and then got cut because he was terrible? I remember. But that's for the All-Pro side. Will Darrisaw make it? Y for yes, N for no. Today's show is made possible by one of our new sponsors here at Chat Sports, that is Established Titles. It's a fun and unique way to help preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while also helping global reforestation efforts based on the old historic Scottish custom where landowners get to be referred to as lairds, or in more common English, lords and Ladies, you buy 1 square foot of dedicated land, you get a unique plot number, a certificate as well. It's on a private estate out in Scotland. They plant a tree with every order via One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, some of the global charities they work with for some global reforestation efforts. Then you can add it to maybe your credit card, your plane ticket, try to get bumped up, and your dating profile as well. It is the perfect last-minute gift, and they're giving you 10% off when you use promo code CHAT. That's C-H-A-T as in Chat Sports at establishedtitles.com/chat. Links in the comment section and the description. If you're like me and you're not good at making and you're just not good at shopping in general for people, this is the perfect gift. I'm getting it for my in-laws this year. establishedtitles.com/chat. All right, back to some keys of the game. Number 2, let the weapons and playmakers shine. Duh, right? The Vikings have a very unique opportunity to fully unleash 11 personnel. For those of you unfamiliar with what's 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers. It's now Dalvin Cook, new addition TJ Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and KJ Osborne. And once Irv Smith gets healthy, you move to 12 personnel, and now you've got Dalvin Cook, Hawkinson, Irv Smith, Jefferson, Thielen. But for this week, it's those 3 receivers. It's your 3-receiver package. That is dynamic as hell. Now, Hawkinson might not be 100% in terms of knowing the playbook, getting up to speed. He might be a bit more limited, but I think you can still get him involved plenty there. I think the Vikings have the best 11 personnel package in the entire NFL right now. You got a top 10 tight end, a top 2, 3, whatever number we want to say, receiver, a great receiver, 2 in Thielen, a top 10 back in Dalvin Cook. There aren't very many teams who can say that. Not even Buffalo or KC can really say that they have this caliber of 11 personnel. Unleash it. Get Kirk Cousins going off. Number 3, pressure Taylor Heinicke. Heinicke's won some games somehow for the Commanders, which... you know how things end up going there. I would anticipate the Vikings being able to get home against Heinicke this week. Myles Garrett is number 1 in the most pressures this year. Micah, Matthew Judon. Za'Darius Smith, though, is 4. All the hype about Danielle Hunter having a big-time breakout year. Look at what Za'Darius Smith has done this season. It has been mind-boggling production out of the, I'm going to call them Packers cast-off. Once again, I say thank you, Packers. And also... thank you, Ravens, for at one point getting him and then Smith going, wait, I'm not getting enough money there. Leads the NFL in both tackles for loss and sacks this year. I think under the radar, Za'Darius Smith is having an all-pro caliber season. Danielle Hunter's numbers aren't as impressive. Only one guy can get the sacks, right? But he's graded out pretty well as a potent 1-2 punch. The Commanders' offensive line, in part because Carson Wentz had some issues holding on to the football too long, they've had problems. I think you can have a lot of success if you can get to Heinicke. I expect the Commanders' game plan will be short, quick passes designed to help mitigate the opposing pass rush of Smith and Hunter. Key to the game, number 4, it kind of ties into 1 and 2, right? Kirk Cousins' revenge game, is it not? Cousins has been very good so far this year. Not, mind-numbing touchdown-interception ratio, but despite some... I'll go inconsistencies overall with the offense. I don't think the passing game concepts have quite been unleashed the way I think they will eventually be unleashed. But he's averaging almost identical career numbers for completion percentage, 66.3, same as last year, 0.6 behind his career average, in line with what he did in Minnesota and with the Commanders, the now Commanders overall. The yards per attempt have dipped a little bit this year. That is worth mentioning. But 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I think the TDs will begin to come, and the Commanders are very beatable on defense this season. Now, if you want more Vikings videos all year long, you come to the right spot. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/Vikings today. You're watching on YouTube. Just click the button right now. I mentioned potential trap game because that's what producer Patrick kept saying. So don't overlook them. Do not discount what the Commanders have been able to do in recent weeks. As bad as they were at the beginning of the season, they've gotten a little bit hot. They've taken down the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, is that to say that, the Commanders are some great football team? No, I don't think they are. And the Vikings are a better football team. You've beaten the Lions, the Saints, the Bears, the Dolphins, the Cardinals after the bye. The schedule has not been that daunting for Minnesota since that loss against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Commanders did, however, begin the year 1-4. They've rattled off 3 straight wins. The Vikings have won a bunch of games in a row. Something's got to give. Don't discount the Commanders. And I can say I think Minnesota's going to win. I think they're going to win and then cover the spread. But you don't want to read your own newspaper clippings, or I guess at this point it's tweets, too much if you are Minnesota. Time for a Real One roll call before we go. If you made it this far in the video, we appreciate that. Type Real One for us in the comments section, and producer Patrick will show you some love.